come in, sir?
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, please take
Thank
your
you,
seat.
sir.
So, tell us about yourself, Priya.
So my name is Priya Dhiman and I come from Firozpur, Punjab. I did my graduation in civil engineering from NIT Jalandhar. And apart from academics, I have interest in dancing and weight training.
Dancing and weightlifting.
Yes, weight training, sir.
Weight training.
Weight training.
What is weight training?
So basically weight training is a set of techniques which we do in the gym in which the resistance that we provide to our body is by external weights and not by our body weight. So those specific exercises are called weight training.
Okay. So, elections are over in Punjab?
Yes, sir.
Over. Okay. And how do you see Jalandhar is what? You are staying in Firozpur or in Jalandhar?
Currently, I'm staying in Delhi. So
Currently, you are staying in Delhi. How long you have been in
so
Delhi?
just a week.
Ah, okay. 1 week is not enough. Okay. ठीक है. So, tell us major project in Punjab. Civil engineering project.
So major civil engineering in Jalandhar, sewage treatment plant is being developed for
STP.
the leather complex.
Okay.
And apart from that, I don't remember.
No idea. Okay. When you came to Delhi, have you heard any major project in Delhi?
Yes, so the Central Vista project has been.
Did you go and see? No.
No, sir, not.
So what do you know about Central Vista project?
So it is the redevelopment project of the administrative area of the Delhi. And the main highlights of the project are the construction of new parliament building, the relocation of the central secretariat building, and the construction of residences of vice president and prime minister. These are the main highlights.
Okay. And there was some controversy. Do you agree that those controversy are necessary or?
Sir, I believe that redevelopment is extremely necessary for the legislative setup of our country.
Okay, good. Right. Tell us other projects in Northeast, some important projects. Any idea about
So
Northeast?
one project, the Kane-Betwa interlinking project.
Northeast India. Have you heard of Northeast India?
Yes, sir.
You have heard. Asha, tell us few states.
Few states.
In Northeast.
So Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram.
So you know. So tell us any project which big projects.
Do not remember. Not aware.
Not remember. Any big tunnel on the border?
Sorry, sir, I'm not
No
aware.
idea. Okay. ठीक है. Now, okay. You mentioned about STPs, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, housing. Have you heard of housing program in the country?
Yes, sir, housing.
What are those programs?
So the programs under the Smart City Mission, which
Smart City Mission. Okay.
So under the Smart City Mission, the housing of different cities have been selected under which the housing facilities, sanitation facilities will be improved.
That's not part of a smart city. Okay. Housing is not part of that, but nevertheless. There is a separate program, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Shahri Awas Yojana and Gramin Awas Yojana. Okay. And Ganga Mission, have you heard of?
Yes, sir, Namami Gange Mission.
Namami Ganga. Can you tell us what are the components?
It is a project regarding the cleanliness of protection and preservation of the Ganga River, and it is in different.
What are the components?
Yes, sir. So the first phase is the exclusion of diverting the wastewater which is coming from the banks of the river.
ठीक है.
Then firstly treating it in the sewage treatment plants, and then discharging it in the Ganga River. So firstly,
So that is basically one is that sewage treatment.
Identification
but
of
apart from sewage treatment, are there any other thing?
So ghats are also being developed to enhance tourism on the Ganga.
Okay. Number 2. What else?
And yes, that's all.
That's all. Okay. Shiksha?
Okay, Priya. Can you tell me what is SPT?
So it is the penetration test, standard penetration test.
For what purpose it is done?
So it is done to find the engineering parameters of a soil. It is done mainly in the non-cohesive soil.
What value you can find out from this?
So in the test, we use a hammer which gives us the number of blows which are proportional to the resistance that is offered by the soil. And according to, based on that value, we can calculate the bearing capacity of soil.
What is that value?
So the N value.
N value.
Yes.
Suppose N value is around 5. What will be your suggestion? What type of soil it may be?
So for 5, so that means the bearing capacity of soil is extremely low and it should be compacted first before using.
Okay, fine. So what type of foundation you will suggest in this case?
So raft foundation should be preferred in this case.
Raft.
Yes.
Any other?
So pile foundation could also be used
Pile
if
foundation.
deep foundation is.
What are different type of pile foundation?
So pile foundation on the basis of the mechanism is the end bearing piles and the friction resistance pile.
Which one will be better?
So end bearing piles would be preferred because the soil does not have screen resistance to offer. So a hard stratum lying should be found and then the pile should be made.
Suppose you don't find any hard stratum even up to 100 meter, what you will do?
So then the soil should be strengthened by using different soil stabilization techniques. And then, for example, we can use cement stabilization and the soil.
What is called monkey? In driving pile there is a term called monkey. Do you know about that?
No, sir, I'm not aware.
No idea. Okay. Fine. And what is plate load test?
So plate load test is also used for checking the strength of soil only. It is a different kind of, it gives actually a graph between the settlement and the load.
What is the difference between the two? SPT and plate load test.
So plate load is done for cohesive soils and the SPT is done for cohesionless soils.
Okay. You are from Jalandhar or Firozpur?
So Firozpur.
Firozpur. Firozpur is in which earthquake zone?
It's a 4th earthquake zone.
Earthquake zone 4.
Yes.
And Jalandhar?
Jalandhar is also in 4.
Zone 4. What will be the value of earthquake factors for zone 4?
It's a 0.24.
0.24. Which value is this?
So this is the zone value that we use to calculate the horizontal seismic coefficient.
So suppose you have to construct a hospital building in Jalandhar, what other earthquake parameter you will consider?
So the importance factor will be considered for earthquake, that will be 1.5 for the hospital building.
Okay.
And one will be for zone 4, it will be 0.24.
What other values? There are 2 more.
Then sir, it will depend if ductile detailing is done or not. Then we will, on the basis on that, we'll use a value for special moment resisting frame or ordinary moment resisting frame.
Suppose you are doing a special moment resisting
Then sir,
frame.
the factor used will be having a value
Can you
5.
use ordinary moment resisting frame in Jalandhar?
No sir.
Why?
Because sir, in the buildings which are constructed in Jalandhar, ductile detailing has to be done. And for the buildings which are designed keeping in mind ductile detailing, for those we need to consider the.
Okay, so it's obvious you have to use a special moment resisting frame.
Yes sir.
What will be R value for this?
So 5.
5.
Yes.
What is R value? What do you mean by, understand by R value?
So by the R value actually gives the resistance that the building can offer at the time of earthquake. So for example, a SMRF building would be having a better resistance to earthquake, so the value is increased, which certainly leads to a reduced horizontal seismic coefficient.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Priya, before asking any technical questions, I'll give you a situation.
Yes, sir.
Suppose I am a first year B.Tech student pursuing civil engineering, but I'm very disheartened. I don't want to continue any further. As a senior, how you will motivate me to continue civil engineering?
So as a senior, I would guide him and tell him what are the career opportunities available in the future for him. If he's not interested in civil engineering, there are still other fields in which he can pursue. He can learn new skills and then go in certain direction.
Okay, fine. Which technical subject you're really good at?
So RCC.
RCC. Okay. Tell me the mixed design of concrete.
So mixed design of concrete is a process where different constituents of concrete are proportioned by following certain steps which are mentioned in IS.
Those steps only I'm asking.
So firstly, we select a grade which we need to make for concrete. Then we calculate the target mean strength on the basis of a standard deviation value and the FCK value. After that, on the basis of the water cement ratio and the mass of cement weight of cement that we have to use, we calculate weight of cement in water. Then a certain table has been mentioned in the IS-2126 that gives the proportion of different aggregates, fine aggregate over the total aggregate.
What are the different types of fine aggregate that I can use?
So it's angular sand.
Sand. Which sand? Which type of sand?
So Ennore sand is a standard sand.
Ennore is the standard one.
Yes.
Can I use crushed sand?
So
Crushed sand.
yes, a crushed sand could be used.
Could be
if it
used.
is
What would
available.
be the change in the behavior of concrete? If rather going for a standard, you can say on one side I have a river sand, another concrete I have a crushed sand. What would be the behavioral change?
So if the crushed sand will be having a greater specific surface area, then it would lead to better hydration with reaction with cement. And but
Crushed one is a better, as you can say.
yes, a crushed.
Let us talk about in terms of workability. Which one would be better?
So Ennore sand will be better in terms
Why?
of. So because it is easy to dissolve no sorry. So because the surface area which is required is lesser in Ennore
Surface
sand.
area, specific surface
Specific
area.
surface area.
Specific surface area. Okay. What is the critical section for the beams that we generally take? Critical section for shear.
For sure. Sir, if the beam has confinement from the support, then we take it at a distance D, which is the depth of the beam. And if it does not have, then we take at the face of the beam,
At
of
the
the support, face of
Okay.
the support.
What do you mean by curtailment of reinforcement?
So due to the variation of bending moment along the length of a member, we can reduce the reinforcement at different parts. So that particular process is called curtailment.
What do you mean by interaction curve?
So interaction curve is used in the column design.
Yes.
So in column design, when the column is subjected to axial load with some bending moment, uniaxial bending moment, then interaction curve gives
It
us.
cannot be biaxial?
So
It has
can
to be uniaxial only?
No, so it can be biaxial. For that, we have a 3D interaction curve.
In general, we are
Yeah,
talking about
so-
interaction. It can be valid for both.
Yes.
Okay.
So it directly gives us the value of reinforcement on the basis of axial
Can
load.
you draw it?
Yes, sir.
The 2D one. Also locate the critical points. All right. So why does the curve is going back in the here? Why it is not going further? It is coming back.
So, uh, sorry, sir, I
What
do
is the
not
reason
remember.
behind it? Do you remember? Okay, fine. Sir.
Priya, can you tell us few details about Bhakra project?
Bhakra. So Bhakra Nangal project is a concrete gravity dam of height 226 meters. It can generate a hydropower of 1325 megawatt, 13 and 25, and it is located in Himachal Pradesh in Bhakra village.
The dam is located in
Bhakra,
Himachal Pradesh.
yes.
What about powerhouse? Is it located in Himachal or in Punjab?
In Punjab.
Powerhouse is located
Yes.
in Punjab, and the dam is in Himachal
Himachal.
Pradesh. So how do you bring the water from the dam to the powerhouse?
So there's a Nangal barrage also constructed downstream to the. Sorry, sir, I do not know.
I want to ask that how do you bring the water from the reservoir to the powerhouse or to the turbine in powerhouse? Using which hydraulic structure?
So penstock.
Is it penstock there or is it a channel?
So I've not seen it.
You have not seen. No issues. Now, do you know about the turbines which are used in Bhakra project?
No, sir.
No. Okay. You have said that the dam is a concrete gravity dam.
Yes.
Now, what are the different forces which act on the body of gravity dam?
So firstly, the self weight of the dam.
Self-weight.
Secondly, the uplift force which is caused by the seeping water below the dam. Then the water pressure of the reservoir that is created. Then we also take earthquake load
Earthquake
and
load.
snow load in some cases also.
Yes. And other than this, do we also consider silt pressure,
Yes, so silt pressure. Also.
wave pressure?
Wave pressure.
Wave pressure also consider. Now, in the body of gravity dam, we have the provisions of spillways.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us why do we use spillways in the body of gravity dam?
So, in times of flood, when the water in the reservoir exceeds the height of the dam, so to discharge the excess water, spillways are used in the dams.
Yes. And what design discharge is generally considered for spillways?
So, the discharge,
You said that the excess amount of flood which
Yes,
is
sir.
coming in the river has to be discharged through the spillways. So definitely a certain discharge is passing through the spillway.
yes, sir.
The spillway needs to be designed. For designing of spillways, what is the design discharge that we consider?
So, we design it for the probable maximum precipitation, the 100-year flood or 50-year flood.
100-year flood or 50-year flood? Any one of this?
So,
Or
50-year flood. 100
there is a
year.
standard in IS code which is used for designing of spillways. Are you aware about it?
No, sir, I'm not aware.
That will be all from my side.
Okay, Priya. I think we will call you for a feedback after a minute. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. प्रिया, आप फिरोजपुर के और भी प्रॉब्लम है तो थोड़ा पता लगा लीजिएगा, राइट? द सेकंड थिंग इज यू आर वेरी गुड कैंडिडेट, ओके, एंड आप सिंसियर हैं, यू हैव गुड पर्सनालिटी. सो ऑन सेंट्रल विस्टा यू वेर ओके. On the smart city wala housing project, so what you should do is see most of the national program housing, then Ganga Namami Gange, then all these Sagarmala or Bharatmala, national waterways, okay, multimodal, all these infrastructure pipeline, monetization of assets for funding the infrastructure pipeline and other aspects, okay, because this is one is financing, the other is the modality, then mission Gati, all those kind of things, right? Relative transportation costs, etc., etc. So application aspect of civil engineering, STPs you mentioned, so basically sanitation and also the environmental protection rule, particularly all these related to construction, okay, construction based management, how you do all these, ठीक है, waste disposal systems, okay. तो थोड़ा इसको ब्रश अप कर लीजिएगा. We are very happy with you. We have given you 130. This is not to let you all become complacent. Okay, you should try to even excel this, right, next 3-4 days. So whatever suggestion is your viewer, very good. Keep this spirit and also the standard. Okay.
From my side, you are selected.
Okay.
So keep it up. और ये बिल्कुल कॉन्फिडेंस बना के रखो. इवन इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू आंसर ए फ्यू क्वेश्चंस, तो उसे डरना नहीं. डोंट शो फियर ऑन योर फेस.
हाँ.
राइट.
कोई आपको
बस मेरी तरफ से यही एक सजेशन है तुम्हारे लिए कि अगर 1-2 क्वेश्चन गलत भी हो जाए तो फियर नहीं आने देना चेहरे पे. एंड इसलिए मैंने बोला तुम ऐसा कर, जितना जैसा आज तुमने किया है, यू आर सेलेक्टेड.
मिस्टर पाव.
आरसीसी आपने बोला था, ठीक है एक आधी चीज़ नहीं बताई बट कोई बात नहीं, बट बी रेडी फॉर सरप्राइजेस. कभी कभी ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हमारे स्ट्रॉन्ग डोमेन से ही क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं. नर्वस मत होना, काम रहना. कोशिश करना कि आपके स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया में ही क्वेश्चंस लाया करें हमेशा. मतलब कहीं ना कहीं से अपने इंट्रोडक्शन में ही डाइवर्ट कर देना. ठीक है, कहीं ऐसा मत करना कि वो बिल्कुल ही अलग डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं और आपका स्ट्रॉन्ग होराइजन कहीं और है. सो डाइवर्ट अपने हिसाब से कर लीजिएगा. बी दैट स्मार्ट.
वो कर्व का बता दीजिए.
वो तो ना जाके रिवाइज कर लेंगे. इतना डेप्थ में कोई पूछेगा नहीं वैसे.
अच्छा,
फिर भी वो तो
पंजाब के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आप वाटर रिसोर्सेज थोड़ा प्रिपेयर कर लीजिएगा. मैंने जैसे भाखड़ा डैम पूछा, ठीक, और इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स पंजाब में इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो कुछ रिवाइज कर लीजिएगा. ऑलरेडी पढ़ा हुआ होगा, मैंने इरिगेशन पूछा नहीं, बट ब्रश अप करके जाइएगा. क्वेश्चंस कैन बी एक्सपेक्टेड फ्रॉम दैट साइड. ठीक,
ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट.
Thank
ठीक
you.
है, कॉन्फिडेंट रहिएगा बस.
Thank you, sir.